We should be showing up on YouTube. Let's see. Just make sure that we are. Right, we go, and I'm sharing this to Blue Sky. Okay.
I definitely have a question for Mark. Not so much for Saul.
Go ahead.
It'll be
Wait.
a question once we're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about to go ahead and.
No, this is his question.
Powered by Riverside.
All right. For some reason, it keeps on just ending abruptly. But thank you guys for joining us here on the Spyshack Podcast, the Traitor edition. We are talking about 2 episodes this week, episodes 4 and 5 of the Traitors, U.S. version. With me, as always, my fellow traders, Mark and Kim. How are y'all doing today?
I am doing good. I am super happy it is Friday. And I want to say something that I'm grateful for that I didn't realize how awesome it was until I saw videos on Instagram. Snow. I saw people out in Texas and stuff using anything they could find to use as a sled to go down some hills. And it was awesome to see that. Those people so happy to get to do something they don't normally get to do or see. And I take advantage of that all the time. And I'm super grateful for it
now. We're traumatized by snow, though. So
yeah, you check on like the whole state, man.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work in snow. Nothing happens over here.
It's been a week of just getting warm and staying warm, but we're made it to Friday, so it's a good week. We made it to Trader Thursday, and now we're going to be able to talk about it here today. We want to talk about both episodes because I think the last 2 episodes were really good, and actually it's kind of a good thing that we actually paired them together because I feel like they kind of do go back to back with what's going on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, last week I had a step away, wasn't able to be here on for the podcast, but we are going to go ahead and do both those episodes. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. We don't want to waste too much time. If you are joining us on live, either on Fireside or Riverside, or on YouTube, just let us know, and we want to be able to know what you are thinking. So guys, let's talk about episode 4. What do you guys think about the picking up after we left them off in that little what is it, the bookshelf hidden room from last week?
Oh, that's right. And Gabby kind of saw Danielle walk out of the hidden room. Yeah, so that was. Is that what?
Yeah, which was kind of surprising because whenever they show us these kinds of like edits, like we just sort of assume that nothing really happened, but then she actually saw Danielle, so there's that.
Did she actually see her or she heard her? Because I thought
she heard her.
She heard her. Yeah.
She heard her voice coming out of the general area.
Which surprisingly, she was the only one that was trying to whisper while everybody else was talking really loud, which is a little
Mhm.
awkward. As how did she end up being the one that was heard?
Yeah, and not Bob.
Well, Bob says, well, didn't Bob scream out and goes, "Hey, we're in here" or something like that? He said something. He said something like super loud that will. I was like, okay, this guy's trying to get caught.
Yeah, yeah.
Who walked in? It was Dylan, right? Did Dylan walk in there and find it?
Dylan, it was. I
That
think it was
saved
Dylan,
Danielle.
Gabby, and Danielle.
Didn't Dylan saved Danielle because by Dylan finding it, he said, "Oh, I saw it." So Danielle didn't even have to be the only one, quote unquote.
And that was a happy accident as well because
What is that?
the traitors left that freaking door open for some reason.
Possible. And I just said, this is what I want to ask Mark. Mark
Mhm.
and I are fans of Big Brother. Okay, so
Mhm.
if you're a fan of Big Brother and you're watching someone like Danielle Reyes, who is a Big Brother legacy, she is the best player to never win the game. Okay, and you're
Mhm.
watching her be so sloppy in this game. It is heartbreaking for us Big Brother fans who are watching people who played Big Brother so good stink so bad at Traitors. Oh, I need to get that off my chest. I'm just so disappointed in Danielle Reyes right now, and I love her. And I do think that Traitors is a difficult game. You can't really build alliances. There's so many things that you can't do. It's a quick game, blah blah blah. So
She's catching a lot of heat, and she's addressed that on
Twitter,
Instagram, on Twitter as well recently. So, like she gets it. She gets it. She gets that her game is super messy, but like I don't really care because
I love her.
really this is a side of her that we really never get to see. Like we saw her near perfect game in Big Brother 3, and and she got kind of screwed in reindeer games, but this is because she's surrounded by like insane people. Let's just put it lightly. I think that sort of
Yes, she doesn't.
that sort of affected her.
I do think like she doesn't know how to handle like Caroline, who is so like wild in her. She's so out there, but not. And I think that these people are different to play with. We
Hmm.
get to see how Derek plays in a game with other people that know how to play rather
Yeah.
than what he was dealt with in Big Brother 16. But I just need to get that off my chest about how the Big Brother, even if you hardly know Brittany is there. It is Dan from last season from Big Brother was awful on Traitors. So
I feel like he started off good though. I feel like Dan started off good, like the first two episodes, I believe. It wasn't
Hmm.
until he got further in the game that he really imploded, and they
and
had to get him off.
he's one of the best people who ever played Big Brother, like him and Dr. Will. So it is odd to see them play this game and adapt to something that is very different. I think Traitors is different than Survivor and Big Brother. There's no alliances. You can't make an alliance because you literally don't know who the traitor is at any point ever. You know who the HOH is in Big Brother. You know who won
Hmm.
the idol in Survivor. You don't know anything. And it's so
So
great. That's what makes it so good.
we got a notification here that Ruth, my sister-in-law, from co-host from the challenge recap, she's happy that Bob got eliminated. I think I think
Oh, is
I'm
that
happy
who
that Bob got eliminated only going against Rob.
Okay, so is Ruth happy that Bob got eliminated because she doesn't like Bob from Drag Queen, or
She
is
doesn't
she,
know who he is.
oh, so she's a Rob fan? She's like,
No, she's a West fan.
Wes,
The
I need to say this to Ruth now. Hear me out. I know that Wes has a lot of hate, and I don't watch the challenge, but I watched House of Villains, and I watched Traitors, and I'm not gonna lie, I like Wes. I'm sorry. I
What's this good TV?
He is.
He's good TV, but
he was intimidated by Rob because when we'll have to get to that. Okay, we won't skip to the
yeah.
last episode.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it comes into play in this one too. But yeah,
Mhm.
at the end, we remember what we're talking about them getting discovered, right? Well, Danielle pretty much getting discovered. They made it look like it was both Danielle and Carolyn that got caught, but it was only the hearing. But either way, and that led to three people that I actually was kind of shocked that they chose these three people to go into the caskets. Um, it was what Ciara, Jeremy,
Nikki.
and Nikki.
Yes.
I think Nikki was a good one because they were already people were already starting to say, so you want to throw someone in that might already have some suspicion that she might be a traitor, so that's good. And remember, Bob and Carolyn wanted to go ahead and Bob and Danielle wanted to put Carolyn into the coffin, and Rob said no, because then that's going to put a target on her. And what happened as soon as these three people in it, they're like, one of them has to be a traitor.
No, but then Carolyn walked into the bookcase, and then they asked her like, do you want to get in one of the caskets? She's like, girl.
Yeah.
She goes, girl, no. And so they just kind of stepped away from that idea, and because people were already going to suspect one of the coffin people to be a traitor because of the rule that they're allowed to throw themselves in, and the faithfuls just kind of ran with it. So it's a kind of a good thing that they didn't step in.
No, definitely, because well, I mean, we just psychologically, you're trying to play a game. You're trying to throw someone off the scent that you're one of the traitors. Well, what do? You put yourself in there. So by not doing it, not following that game plan, you're actually outplaying it. And so far, Robin has been the one that's been falling for all these little clues that the traitors have been playing. She's been she right away thought one of them was going to be the traitor. What surprises me is that Jeremy offers to join the traitors if they let him live.
It was his last ditch effort.
No, but do you think he meant it?
It doesn't. Maybe. I don't think it matters though, because now that if they didn't kill him,
they would have
now the other people
next week anyway.
Yeah, well, it would have left them open. Oh, unless you get a shield. Oh no. I'm sorry, shield doesn't work for banishment.
Right.
I wish there would be something that would help you for banishment, though.
I wonder if they'll ever bring that into play, but maybe it makes it too hard, because if a traitor gets something to keep them safe from banishment, then you're never voting them out.
Yeah, but banishment is the faithful's like only weapon, and Australia used to do this where the shield is good for both banishment and murder, but that tends to make it a little too powerful. So like Australia stepped away from it.
That kind of makes it like the super idol, or the original hidden immunity idol, where you didn't have to show that you had it. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I don't get why they took out Jeremy. Did they even really say why it was a good idea for Jeremy to go?
Danielle, because
she wanted to, right? That's it.
Because she wanted to, because
that was it for her.
Yeah, Jeremy had thoughts on her, and she didn't like it, and she wanted to just take him out before he could spread that, but it was already spread.
Well, that's what.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's where I'm saying that it didn't make sense, because he vocally said he's going to help them, and like we said, if they didn't murder him tonight, they were probably going to go ahead and banish him next time around. He was going to get banished.
But like Bob, I think Bob also strong-armed them into this.
Rob strong arms a lot, but it was Danielle that wanted Jeremy out, which makes no sense following the next week when Rob got Bob out and Danielle got mad. Because, and I'm like, I don't understand, Danielle. Jeremy said your name, you wanted him out. Bob said it's got to be one of the new people who's the traitor. There's only 3 new people. I mean, it wasn't like there was 12 new people. You narrowed it down to one of you. It was, I get why Rob. And here's the thing. He's that good. Maybe he needs to tone down a little bit of the powerhouse, like my way, and fake it a little. But I think it's because he's so good, right, that he can't do their dumb moves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We can skip the challenge because I don't think it became any consequence,
so
right?
10 people got shields. Insane.
But I don't think other than that last part where Bob did go ahead and just say it has to be one of these guys that is one of the traitors, which yes, I would have gotten upset. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh no. And then of course Rob called it out right away.
Name, it's 1, 2, or 3. What do you mean? You know?
Yeah. You can't blame Rob for being jumpy on that because
no.
Here's the thing with Rob, right? Rob is actually faithful to you as long as you're useful to him, right?
I agree.
It's not until you either betray him or you're no longer useful to him that he'll cut your throat. And we saw that here. I felt like he was going to be faithful with both Bob and with Danielle and with Caroline, right? But he did say, "Do not backstab, do not betray me," because as soon as you do that, he's going to make the Godfather move, which he's known for,
and so good at.
And like I said the last time, they want us. People have been talking about his win on Survivor, and that he had the easiest, most like they treated him like your leader of the tribe, which they kind of did. But no matter what season, no matter what game he's gone to, he has been able to get that following the people that know how he plays, that know how he is, and they still follow him and get slaughtered at the end. Or at least he makes it to the final, right? Time and time again, that happens. And so that's not just luck. That's he has a charismatic side to him that people tend to want to follow.
They do, and he's just so. You just listen to him. You think, and you're afraid of him, as well. Like not like you're just afraid of what he's gonna do to you in this game. And he can separate everything. And I think not all players of this game can separate the emotion sometimes, but Rob can.
That's the thing. No, that's the thing. Well, he's a poker player too. So, and we'll get into the banishment, because of Bob's comment. We see Rob walking around and telling people, but he makes it seem like he's gonna be just in the background. He's not gonna actually talk about Bob at the round table, but we see him just waiting for Dylan, because Dylan really is the one that has been after Bob since day 2, I think. And he tells him, "Hey, bring it up. I'll back you up." There's, but no one's bringing him up, so he has to step in and really push it. Which, of course, I get it. If I was a traitor, I would have been like, "What are you doing, Rob?" But the thing is that Bob got caught so off guard that he didn't really have a way to come back at Rob. And credit to him, I don't know if it's in the rules, other than actually saying, well, no, because Rob wouldn't have been able to say, "Hey, he's a traitor," if it's against the rules to call out other people as traitors. So I think he kind of hinted that Rob was a traitor as well, but at the end of the day, he didn't actually say, "Hey, Rob, you're a traitor." He only hinted at it.
And I think that it was more of not Rob saying you are a traitor. It was, "I think you're a traitor," right? And this is why. And he made up a reason, right? And then it went with everybody else was saying. And then Bob the drag queen threw it back at him. Rubber. How's that said? What's that saying? Whatever says sticks.
I'm rubbering. I'm rubber. You're glue.
Yes, that saying. But it didn't work because Rob was able to maintain. He doesn't lose any composure at all, and that's it. He was able to keep it, but we know what happened afterwards is with Wes. Wes isn't stupid.
Yeah, and Wes did go like, there's only one way that you know for sure someone's a traitor without having to worry about missing. Like if you take a shot, you're gonna miss. There's only one way you know you're not gonna miss is as if you're a traitor yourself. I can't believe no one else actually saw that though. And I was actually talking to my wife, and she was saying like that's the thing, that's what he would do in the challenge, because my wife was watching the challenge when Wes was there, and she goes, I don't like Wes. I personally don't like Wes as on the challenge. I like him on the Traitors. I do. I'm not gonna like him if he takes out Rob. But
no, I have a feeling that it's gonna be Rob needs to get rid of at least 3 people or 4 to keep himself safe.
I think if he starts getting rid of them, I think it starts to make it more obvious that he is one.
And I have another question for you. Now, after this elimination, we see the panic between Caroline and Danielle about what to do. Blah, 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 blah. Then Danielle's like, I'm going to get rid of Caroline so I can get rid of Rob. Makes no sense. But here's my question. Do they know that a traitor's going to be replaced? Because Danielle is under the impression if Caroline goes, right,
she'll get someone else.
Someone else is going to come in, and then them two will then take out Rob. But do we know that that's the case?
No, because, well, I don't know. Because in the last season, when 2 of them went home, they brought in Kate, right? But she that was it. They didn't bring anyone else after her. They only had 4 traitors, like last season. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, because they weren't catching the traitors as much. And also I don't think they're bringing anybody else in this season. They already brought in 3 new people. There's 24, 25 people in the house.
I think now. if they were to bring in another traitor, it would be from the pool of people that are there. If they were going to do that, but there's no guarantee that it's going to happen.
No.
Go ahead.
But like as far as recruitment goes, she wants to get rid of Carolyn so that so her and Rob can bring somebody else in to the traitors side. And I don't know if she has the power to convince Rob to go with her on who to bring in. That's the thing.
Rob is gonna go with someone that he knows will get caught. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll put someone that's gonna be easy. Yeah. That's someone that he can sacrifice later on, that he will be able to continue to skate by.
Yeah.
You think that's Dylan?
I think he might bring in Dylan just because Dylan has this. Dylan was fanboying on him already for the past however many days.
I mean, I would be Dylan. I would probably be Dylan.
Me too.
I adore Dylan. Zac Efron's brother, is the best. I know.
Let's talk about Bob real quick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Bob's comment. Bob, why'd you have to take a shot at Zac?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
What did Bob call?
No, Dylan said I have an actor for a brother or something, and then Bob went right back with not a good one.
Oh my god. And Dylan is easy on the eyes. He's kind. I mean, again, I didn't watch his reality show, so I don't know anything about him. right? But he
Uh-huh.
seems to be a really likable person.
Which is
And I
why
like
it's
that he
good.
wasn't told what to do either.
Uh-huh.
He does not follow the pack. He would be so good on Big Brother because he would never vote with the house. He would only vote how he wanted. And that's what we love. That you
What
don't vote with everybody else.
but that's why I think that Dylan would be the perfect person to bring on as a traitor. Because
Yeah.
then if you bring him on, no one's gonna suspect him.
No one suspects him. Yeah.
And
No.
then when the time comes, you can sacrifice him if needed. Um, because at
Dylan
the end of
has
the
a little bit
day,
more pull, though. I don't know.
well,
You
no,
know,
that's why I'm saying
Just
that's why it's good that Rob has him on it to his side because he has the pool. He not only has Dylan, he also has the remaining two Bambis. Whereas Wes and Derek, I don't feel like they have people that are willing or that are able to convince other people to vote their way.
what about see so you think that Sierra is with Rob or with Wes
I
and
think
Derek
she's just trying to survive. I think she's just hanging in there to survive right now.
and with
Um,
Gabby?
mhm.
hmm
I think Gabby's on Rob's side now, isn't she? Because she's part of the Bambi. So I think she said she liked that. Was it her or Rochelle that said that they're gonna be trusting Rob's reads? Although that is also, I think they caught themselves in like, well, he was a little too
Bless
confident
you.
on what happened.
I
How's
have
that?
I have
How's
a
that?
question. At one point, they talked about eliminating and murdering Sam. Now, do you think that that was real, or do you think that producers were like, "Listen, we got to pretend he's on this show," you know?
I mean,
So
It's so
at
bad.
least say his name, you know?
the
Because
Well,
Sam is the
no,
most nothing burger person there, and murdering him would not throw suspicion
no,
in
it
any direction. So it
would
well,
would
that's
be the perfect one to take on.
that's why I don't get why they ended up murdering Robin because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, she was actually throwing the wrong people out for
hmm
that they were the traitors. You want to keep those
Exactly.
people and the people that are not they're not what's it called suspicious of you. So but I guess at the same time you want to throw one of them out because then it kind of if she's saying well maybe it's Dylan or whatever and they kill her off and then well maybe it was Dylan then.
has that happened? I know that Mark's watched a few more Traitors than I have, right? And I started watching
Just don't get
season one of the UK,
specific.
right? And has anyone been a traitor, right? And here's banishment, right? And you're a traitor, Mark. And I say, Mark, I think you're a traitor, right? And I vote for you to be banished, but you're safe.
hmm
Now, would you murder me that day? And has someone done that and evaded, you know, uh, anyone knowing it was them? So has anyone ever said, I think you're the traitor, didn't get banished, and then was murdered that night?
I
Uh,
think it happened last season, didn't it?
happened last season in the US traders.
I think so. I've only seen the US version.
Yeah.
I think it did happen last season, and
Yeah.
that's why they were able to get. I think that's why they were able to get what's the name from Dan, wasn't it?
hmm
Yes, that was it. That was it. Dan
Hmm.
was the one that was stupid and went for it. You're right. They said, I think you're Dan. I think it's Dan. And then Dan was so off, put it by it. He murdered them. As when Rob murdered Bob, Bob didn't say it so outlandish and pointed Rob out as to what happened when Dan was individually pointed out in front of everybody. It was subtle with Rob as opposed to with Dan.
So Bob gets banished. He kind of throws them off. People are like, "Oh God, we just got rid of another faithful." Reveals that he's a traitor. Everyone rejoices, and that's where I think half the faithfuls were like, "I'm gonna be sticking with Rob." The other maybe like two or three were like, "Now I need to start looking at Rob. Maybe he might be one of the traitors." We go to this week, but we already kind of talked about it. Carolyn and Robin, not Robin, Danielle are talking, and Danielle has this idea of getting rid of Carolyn. Which why would you want to get rid of Carolyn? Why wouldn't you work with her to throw Rob out under the bus? If you really want to get Rob out, why don't you work together?
They had this disagreement at the first turret. I think Danielle thinks Carolyn is too much of a wild card and she can't control her. That's why she needs to get rid of Carolyn and bring somebody else in order to plot against Rob, which is like going way too far, like way too many steps ahead. Way too many steps ahead.
Danielle must have not watched Survivor, because had she would know that Caroline is flaky and she's this and she's that, but she's still good. She's just her personality. Do you know what I mean? She's just, and by flaky, she's cool. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean flaky like you're flaky.
She's awkward.
Like, yes, awkward, but cool awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love awkward, quirky, weird people. That's me. So but you can't control that because we beat to the sound of our own drum.
The thing is, like, compare Carolyn to Jason Guy. Like, these are two complete opposite people. Like she's used to having an alliance with somebody who's also good under the radar and can work behind the scenes, and here you have Carolyn, who is just completely over the top, and to the point where people don't suspect her as being a traitor. Like, even when she brought Carolyn's name up to other people, other people are like telling her, "No, I don't think she's capable."
Well,
she's not capable.
And I heard her.
At a pickle, is that a pickle? You know, at the table, she's just so random, and she does it on purpose, and that's what makes it work. And that's what Danielle's not realizing is that's what keeps everybody like, what? Because what did Dylan do? Who did Dylan go to? Caroline. Hey, Caroline, I need to let you know something. Danielle's throwing your name around. And then you were, and she handled it so well. She listened to it. She took it in. She didn't react to it. She didn't overreact.
That's where I'm going to say, because even Rob, right? He went and right away confronted Wes. Carolyn didn't, and as soon as I said Carolyn is not capable, I turned to Tabitha, and I told her, I actually paused the episode. I'm like, these guys are underestimating Carolyn because of how quirky she is. Because if you really think about her game in Survivor, she made it to the finals, but she didn't get dragged there. If you actually look at what she did, she actually did a really good job at getting to the final.
Yeah, that's why she was so liked. Because get dragged to the end, people don't really celebrate, right? They don't like the ones that get dragged. They like a Victoria in Big Brother. That's never fun. But no, she earned her right. You don't have to win everything. You have to be able to get there some way.
And the reason why she lost in Survivor was because she wasn't able to show that she actually did the things that she knows she did to get to the final. Here, you don't have to worry about people realizing that you did it or not. You just got to make it to the end.
Can I give something to Caroline? And I wonder, because if she's quirky and all that, if she has like ADHD, and sometimes you're not really good at describing why you were so good at it. You don't know. You just did it.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? If somebody said to me, how did you just do this? I would not know how I did it. I would just say, I don't know. I did it.
Yeah. So this
Go
episode
ahead.
is a whole lot of like really messy play.
Yes.
uh,
Even by
starting
Rob.
off with first of all, Dylan told Carolyn that Danielle was targeting her, and then there's Lord Ivar telling Rob about
Right at
Wes.
the round table. And then Lord Ivar confronting Rob at the round table too about, we think it could be you. You're one of the three I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that in here in a second. But go ahead, Mark.
No, that's
it?
about it. Yeah.
The thing that Lord Ivar was part of the whole thing with Wes, and then for him to be like, "Hey Rob, let me tell you this," like, who gets people to confess or go up to you and saying, "Hey, they're talking about you," in a game where you need to have secrets. This is over anything else. You have to be able to keep your secret to close to your chest. You need to be able to make it all the way without people finding out you're a traitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't tell
I
people
think it's,
that honestly, you shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be telling people that they think you're a traitor. You shouldn't.
you shouldn't. I think he was just bored and he had some juicy gossip and he just wanted to go to somebody and say it, and it just happened to be Rob.
Honestly, if I was Rob, I'd keep Sam. I'd keep what's his name from Vanderpump, Tom, right?
Tom.
His name, yeah. And I could probably keep Lord Ivar because
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they're gonna be pushing again to get Rob out anytime
No.
soon.
No.
You don't think when Derek said he better murder me because I'm coming after him. Remember, Derek said that.
Yeah, I that would be the worst thing to do right now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Is what, for him to murder
To
Derek?
murder Derek.
But if Derek's coming after him, then what?
I don't think he's got the I don't think he's got the pull with the other people enough to even pull something against Rob. I may be wrong, but I don't think he's got the pull to get someone to vote for Rob. I think Rob has the more has the bigger crowd on his side. Not only that, I think he has the people that are more influential to the other people that are voting on his side. So I think either way, I think he's good, at least for this round of the next banishment coming up. And
Yeah, he might.
what messy, well, not messy gameplay, but confusing gameplay to me. Chriselle turning um on Nikki just
Yeah,
because
that was
Nikki
random.
was surprised that they were gonna that they thought they were gonna murder her, right? Or yeah, right. That's what it was. They thought she was gonna get murdered, and she was like,
No. It was her reaction to Bob saying,
calling him, yeah.
yes, it was Bob saying he thought she was a traitor or something like that. She reacted wildly to that. But Sierra reacted to Nikki not belly laughing. I mean, it was something so bizarre. Like, you don't belly laugh. You must be a traitor. No.
Like, what are these reasons coming up? People are coming up with. I get some of these people who are not in the game, part of the game community. But it's just like, why are you even thinking that is a reason why someone would be a traitor? Specifically, someone that you have no other reason to go off of suspecting that they were a traitor.
Nothing. I don't like the way you laugh. You're too composed. You sit straight. You must be a traitor because of your posture. These are the guesses they come up with, or they just say nothing.
Well, you see that right there. You're too composed. That all points to Rob. Rob right now, the way he's playing, actually, he's kind of playing what like Richard Hatch did in the first season, right? As a Where he just sat back and examined people, and then he told them what he was seeing. But
I think
the thing
they
is
just
that
let the faithfuls run with the theory where one of the coffin people has to be a traitor.
they're doing great, yeah.
Yeah, and there's that.
Which now leaves Sierra left, right?
Hmm.
Which she can't go home, right? She can't get murdered
She
in
has
this.
a
No, she can't
shield.
get
She got a
murdered.
shield. Yeah,
Her,
she got a shield.
her and what's her name have the shield?
The other housewife,
Sierra
I
and
forget her name.
Dolores shields because
Dolores.
no,
We were calling her
what is
normal later on earlier.
now playing this game? She's like, I'm gonna give it to her. Oh, now I'm gonna give it to Derek. Like what?
What are you
What?
doing?
And another thing, where I want to say I agreed with Brittany was I wouldn't have went for the first or second question. Why am I doing that? It's like you gotta wait to the end so there's no opportunity. It's like when you're bidding on like eBay and you're waiting for like the last 20 seconds to place that bid so you win. Why would you go first?
Well, not only that, why
Why
would
firing these off?
And I need to say this, I got all of them right. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not always so good at like riddles, but I got everyone.
These aren't hard.
yeah.
No, they
Um,
but I'm not good at riddles at all.
over the last 2 episodes, I feel like Danielle has imploded. In the way, I think in the first 2 episodes she was doing really good, but episode 3 and 4 and 5, well, 3 and 4 were more her overreacting to things and making it more obvious that she's probably a traitor. This episode 5 was just bad gameplay.
I think Rob going after Bob just sort of broke her. I think that's what
but
happened.
again, I just don't get her logic. Why not work with Carolyn to get out of Bob when you've already talked to each other and said we need to get him out some way or another?
Mhm.
And Carolyn agreed that that was the way to go.
And then like, I need to vote out Caroline so I can get another traitor to vote out Rob. No, they're just gonna stay with Rob. What are you doing?
There's no way people would buy that theory. There's not at this point anyway.
I feel like the only reason they would bring another traitor in is if all the traitors are gone. Then okay, to convert at least 1 or 2 of the other people into traitors. But as long as Rob is there, and I don't think they're going to put another traitor in. Maybe he's by himself.
If Danielle successfully gets rid of Carolyn, then they will be down to 2. It's just Danielle and Rob. At that point, I think production would give them the option to recruit. Usually at 2 traitors, they have the option to recruit.
That's Danielle's hope,
not at
and
3.
then that crew is gonna vote out Rob.
But remember,
Rob's gonna agree to pick anyone he thinks will vote him out.
What I don't want them to do, though, if they do recruit somebody, I don't want them to do what they did with Kate last season, where they pretty much forced her to become I mean, I know she wanted to be a traitor, but they forced her to be a traitor no matter what, because they said, you either become a traitor or you're murdered. They should still give them the option to not figure out who the traitors are, but not to join them and keep the number 2 traitors to 2 traitors. But then now you have that as a weapon. Now you could either say they offered me to go in and I didn't accept, but at the same time that can be a double-edged sword, because then people are like, how do we know you didn't accept?
But
they need an elimination at that point, and there was only 1 traitor left when Kate got brought in, so that's why the ultimatum was there, and that's sort of how it worked in all the seasons. Like when there's 1 traitor left, that they are forced to give an ultimatum to a faithful, like either you join me or you are dead. And so
but that's the thing, is like
elimination there.
That's the thing, is like, if that's not really a decision. Has anyone ever not taken the traitor spot?
Yes.
And allowed themselves to get murdered?
Yes.
Don't tell me what season. Don't tell me what.
No, not gonna tell you, but it did happen.
Oh my god!
Very recently.
That is so dumb. Why would you risk going home? Why would you?
You also have
Guarantee going
these
home.
probably assume there's 2 traitors left. They are probably not thinking there's 3, right? So they probably think there's 2 left. They probably don't know there's 3 left in there.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That actually helps them. That helps them out.
The person that declined was basically next on the firing line for everybody, and they knew that, and so they're like, "I'm just gonna take one for the team." Basically, that's
so
what it was.
I'm going to be banished anyway. So
they knew they were going. They knew they were going.
But still, make it a little further, I guess. But yeah. But let's talk about the roundtable now, because Caroline is, Danielle is so intent at making sure that Caroline goes home this particular time. But we also have that Sierra versus Nikki showdown going down. And one thing that when Lord Ivor brought up about Rob said, I was so sure, because when I said you're a traitor, he didn't really just say what. He went back at him. He shot right back at him. And this is what happened when, remember, we're putting Caroline in the mix now. All of a sudden, Sierra and Nikki go at it, and they shot at each other, and they're like, and that's what's gonna save Caroline, is because these two went right at each other, just like what Rob said happened with Bob and him. And I feel I kind of feel that was what happened there, and why they decided to go against either Nikki or Sierra, because they were like, it has to be one of them, because they didn't try to deflect. They didn't try to say like, no, whatever, the way Rob did when Bob threw it back at him.
And the last nail on the coffin was Chriselle.
And then
Chriselle, baby girl.
She said,
and then Rob using her.
Yes, you convinced me.
That was so good. He's like, Chriselle convinced me, and I'm only voting you because of her.
Yeah, that's all everybody else needed to hear.
Yeah,
he might try to convince people that she's a traitor.
That was so good. So Nikki Garcia goes home. Nikki Bella, for those WWE fans.
I never watched wrestling. I do know who she is. And she's beautiful. Her shape is incredible. Her diet and workout routine must be amazing. She looks great.
Her and her twin sister are both wrestlers. And
isn't she a survivor of domestic violence? Wasn't it her?
Yes, it was actually Nikki. Yeah.
Good for her. I'm so proud.
She married
a survivor. I'm so happy she got out and she's safe.
She married one of the dancers from Dancing with the Stars.
And she did great on that season as well. So,
I can see that, because wrestling is athletic. It's hard. You perform. You choreograph. There's a lot. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but you have to know that there's a lot to it.
So who was it that was it Derek that brought up that Nikki can probably be the traitor, because she can play into her role as a wrestler, and because wrestlers have to pretend that they're good guys versus bad guys, good guys versus bad guys. And I totally buy that part. So once that came out, I'm like, oh, she's gone. I was actually hoping she'd be around for longer time.
Same. I liked her.
Really weak. It's still really weak argument against her. I think overall, like, there are some bigger targets that they need to look at before they get to Nikki, in my opinion.
I think the Traitors just did a great job, and by Traitors, I think it was Rob that pushed this, that not to put somebody that was a traitor in those coffins. And I think they're still seeing the payoff of not putting one of the traitors in there, and putting the faithfuls against each other.
And this is the perfect round.
Sierra now.
Yeah. I don't think they're murdering her.
They better not. It'd be stupid if they did.
No, I don't think they were. I think that he might try to get them to banish her by flipping it and saying, well, look at Sierra. She convinced you a traitor was in the coffin and tried to tell you it was Nikki. We know it wasn't Jeremy, and now we know it wasn't Nikki. So then it
She
must have
also,
been Sierra.
her last words were like "F you, traitors." A little
Yeah.
too much. What
A little too emphatic, yeah.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, in the previews, didn't they show just the traitors at the round table by themselves?
I did not get to see any previews. So if you did, someone let me know.
And next time on, like they would get back to the turret, their little corner, and
they're gonna
go at it. They're
but I'll go watch it again. But I feel like they showed them at the round table, only the three of them. And if I'm right about that, I'm thinking they're not going to be able to come to a consensus on who to murder. And Alan's going to be like, the F are y'all doing?
Or maybe it'll be, if you don't pick someone, one of you don't.
Yeah.
Then you need to decide which one of you.
But they have done it, though. They have done it where they don't kill somebody, right? In the last season, they did that where they decide not to kill somebody.
No.
I feel like they did that one round that they decided not to kill anybody.
It's only when there's recruitment. And
okay.
In the latest UK season, like even when they recruited, they still killed. So not.
Well, I think they did. Yeah, I think they did over here too.
Yeah. So
I could have sworn there was one round that they chose not to kill anybody. They chose, we're not going to kill anybody. And then when everybody showed up to the breakfast table in season 2, they're like, "What's going on?"
How come I think I remember this now? Now you're making me think.
I feel like they did it once, but I feel like that has to be anonymous, that they're not going to kill somebody. Whereas this,
no. I think somebody went home that had nothing to do with being murdered or banished, and then there wasn't a murder. Didn't someone have to leave the show?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It was the boxer.
Yes. I remembered something.
Wilder? Oh, no, it wasn't Wilder. Was it Deontay? That was episode 2.
Deontay. Yeah, Deontay. He
had a breakdown.
Exited the show.
He felt so guilty about being wrong, about the traitor. Remember, he said he was convinced what's-his-face was a traitor, and then he wasn't, and it absolutely destroyed Deontay. He quit the show because he was devastated.
So I actually started watching season 1 because I hadn't seen season 1. I'm about 6 episodes in season 1, and I didn't realize that girl Amanda went home. That one because she got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks.
I saw season 1.
So if that happens in this game, I'm like, it's cursed that one of them's gonna go home without getting killed off or banished. But we'll see. I was thinking that maybe they couldn't come to consensus. Each one of them wanted to kill someone else, so they couldn't decide, and then something's gonna happen between them because we heard Carolyn saying, the only 2 people I want to kill, I can't kill, or they're standing right here in front of me, or something like that.
Her eyes are so crystal blue.
I like Carolyn in this game. I know my wife doesn't like her because she's a little kooky, but I like her in the game. I think she's a lot better player than she is. I think it was in this episode she kind of was like, and then she kind of fixed her face. I'm like, she is playing. She knows that she's kooky. She knows she's a little crazy. But I feel like she also plays off of it. She plays more into it than she really is.
Because make her eyes real big and act real doe-eyed and dumb, you know, and she does it on purpose, like Chrissy from Three's Company, you know.
But we'll go. I guess what final words for this last 2 episodes.
entertaining. I have a question just before we cut. Do you think they'll go back to regular people anytime soon, or there's just so many reality show people that we won't need to, because there's just so many shows and so many people.
I think that they found.
They're Nick.
I honestly, I think that's the reason why they went all reality show TV people. Is because they
all different fans who never would have watched like this type of show before. Watch.
This is. I think this game has turned into like the Avengers of reality TV show. Like you need to watch it because just all stars of all the TV shows, and I can almost guarantee that now some of these other networks are gonna be like, hey, can we put one of our guys on there?
Well, and I get an Amazing Race person.
I'm surprised they haven't had an Amazing Race.
We have to get an Amazing Race.
James and Will, I'm putting it out there. James and Will, they need to be on the.
I would love to see again some more old school, classic Survivor Big Brother. Like, I know this will never happen, and it's a wish on a dream, but I would love Nokomis. I know people don't know who she is, but Nokomis from Big Brother. It would be a dream to ever see her play something again. She's the reason that Big Brother changed how they play games. She's the reason.
Would they ever be able to get in reach of her though?
I have no idea where she is in the world, but
nobody knows.
But I can't wait till it's like season 7, and bring in all the let's do like a heroes versus villains kind of season of the
All-Stars,
an All-Stars version of the Traitors, which is be All-Stars on top of All-Stars, right?
I know.
I would like to see Tony take a shot at it again. So Tony, Bananas. Who else can we get?
Sandra. No,
Sandra. Bananas.
I think Sandra made it far enough that she wouldn't need to come back. Even she made it far enough that I think if anyone else, if you're gonna bring in people like that, it has to be people who barely that were gonna be good TV, but didn't make it far enough to where people were satisfied with them being on the show.
I think that's fair.
We'll see.
But yeah, let's go ahead and leave it there. Amazing season so far. Can't wait to. I want to see how this plays out. I hope Rob makes it at least to the end. If he doesn't win it all, I hope he makes it to the end. I hope Carolyn makes it to the end with him.
Yeah.
And then let's see what happens from there.
We'll see.
What does Tabitha like, by the way?
She likes Rob.
Rob?
She likes Dylan. Who else? She likes Rochelle because she likes the show she's from. I don't like her, and she doesn't like her as Gabby. But not necessarily because I don't like her what is it called? The way she speaks has like I forgot the word for it. It's got this guy like kind of like rhythm that kind of like rubs me the wrong way. Kind of like Sophie from Survivor. Kind of not as exaggerated, but she kind of has that little tone. I forgot the word for it. But yeah.
Oh, Jerry from Survivor. I'd like to see her on Traitors.
Who? Oh, Jerry.
Jerry Manthe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The original Black Widow. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she would do it as well.
I like the old school because they played a whole lot different, and I think
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to say anyone from Amazing Race that I would want to see come back, but I can't. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, but we'll go ahead and leave it there. And we'll pick up with episode 6 next week. If for whatever reason we don't come, I don't think there'll be a reason why I miss next week, but just in case, we'll let you know. I'm going to start using the social media a little bit more to be able to kind of interact and kind of do some of this stuff. So hopefully we can get a little bit more people. to come on and talk to us about the Traitors and other shows. I remember that when the seasons come back, not the challenge that's going to be coming out here in this week, I believe. We're not going to do that one. We're going to go ahead and go with the proper full season or regular season of the challenge. That's going to come back. The new season of Survivor is going to come back. When we hear about the Amazing Race, I think we're going to come back for that too as well. So we want to have a good amount of these episodes. We want to be able to bring and talk to you all. Let us know. And if you used to watch the Spyshack Podcast, join us. Remember how you all used to be up there. Join us in here. We want to hear from y'all. All right, we'll go ahead and leave it there, and we'll talk to you all next week on the Spyshack Podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
Alrighty.
So